of the night. The final speaker is Xin Hong. They are a member of the Revolutionary Communist Group as well, and they'll be talking about organizing in Britain and what are our urgent tasks in building solidarity with Cuba in the imperialist belly of the beast. Xin, take it over.
Thanks, Luna, and thank you so much as well to all the speakers today. Um, as we've heard tonight, the blockade on Cuba is genocidal. It is designed to inflict suffering on the Cuban people. It's designed to strangle their system which, despite the blockade, has made massive advancements like universal healthcare, housing, and education. It cemented human rights into their constitution through popular struggle and participation of the people, and it's given so much political and material solidarity to people around the world, in Palestine, in Venezuela, Italy, just to name a few. Cuba is a living, breathing proof of what socialism can build, and the only threat that it poses is that of a good example. We need to be clear that the blockade is an imperialist act of war on socialist Cuba. It's an attack on the international working class. It is an attack carried out by US imperialism. But most importantly for us here in Britain, wanting to break the blockade, this attack is directly supported by the imperialist British state, whose banks illegally enforce a blockade, whose military forces store oil tankers bound for Cuba. The blockade attacks Cuba at a state level. And so if we want to fight back, our fight back must also be at this state level. It cannot be limited to sticking plasters on the symptoms. Simply sending aid is not enough, nor is it sustainable. We can't drive oil tankers there. We can't ship raw materials. We can't bring the X-ray machines they need in our suitcases. Nor should this be our role. We are people living within the belly of imperialism. We have an urgent and much more proximate job, and that is to fight against imperialism itself and the forces that uphold it. The British state, currently driven by the Labour Party, the same force that continues its unwavering support for the genocide in Palestine, that participates in the war on Iran and Lebanon, that boasts of deporting nearly 60,000 migrants in under 2 years. That is what our fight must target. So Cuba is not a charity case. Since they overthrew the US-backed Batista dictatorship, the Cuban people have shown time and time again that they are fully prepared to defend themselves against any attacks from imperialists that threaten the gains of the revolution. From repelling the Bay of Pigs invasion to resisting the numerous terrorist attacks, attempts at espionage, and propaganda efforts funded by the US government. To quote Fidel Castro, nothing and no one can hold back this revolutionary process. When an entire people embrace a cause and idea, no force in the world can destroy it. So solidarity with Cuba's fight from within imperialist Britain means to destroy those very forces attempting to destroy Cuba. The time to act is now. We need to build a fight back, a movement that is anti-imperialist and anti-racist, that fights for and defends the struggle of Cuba, of Palestine, of Venezuela. This means we combat imperialist media's lies. It means that we reject the liberal narratives that say Cuba or Venezuela are dictatorships or that put conditions on anti-imperialist struggles. It means that we expose the role of the British state of imperialism and reject the opportunist narratives that deflect from the British state by pointing the finger only at the US or at Trump. Just as Cubans know, the blockade is not a new invention, but has lasted for nearly 70 years through 12 US presidents. We know it has lasted through 14 British prime ministers. Whether driven by Labour or Tory or any prospective bourgeois party, it is the imperialist British state that is the enemy. Not the only enemy, but the one that we can fight against from here in Britain. The Palestinian communist Ghassan Kanafani said that imperialism has laid its body over the world, the head in Eastern Asia, the heart in the Middle East, its arteries reaching Africa and Latin America. Wherever you strike it, you damage it, and you serve the world revolution. We are in the belly of imperialism, and this is where we must strike. And as Fidel said, we face a common enemy. The enemy that threatens Cuba is the same enemy that threatens everyone else. So if you support Palestine, you need to defend Cuba. If you're anti-racist, if you support women's liberation, queer liberation, you need to defend Cuba. We must keep making clear the links between the struggles of these countries and the struggle of the working class here in Britain. This means we take the example of Cuba into the Palestine movement, into the protests against the war on Iran, into anti-racist protests, into all progressive movements that arise. It is this internationalist, anti-imperialist movement we build, connecting these struggles, that can genuinely challenge our common enemy of British imperialism, that can stand in material and political solidarity with Cuba, with Venezuela, with Palestine, with all those struggling under the boot of imperialism. A movement that upholds the example of socialist Cuba and defends it, that does not ask for but demands an end to the blockade on Cuba, that strikes on the offence against imperialism. And the key is to get organised. Get involved with your local black branch by contacting us on our website or our social media. Help us break the media blockade, support our paper, Fight Racism, Fight Imperialism by getting a subscription, and support a prison subscription. And if you're already organised with another group, let's take action in solidarity with Cuba and fight together. Join us in building this movement to once and for all smash British imperialism from within and, just like Cuba has shown us, build something that serves the working class of the world. Viva Cuba Socialista.